Alright, everyone, welcome back for another WCW Nitro. And oof, I don't know, he's usually good at cutting the promos, but he's not. I don't know, sometimes he does really well, sometimes he does really bad, and I am not liking the way this killed my show at the beginning already. Anyways, Mark Calloway shows up with the rest of the Dark Ministry here, and these guys weren't even talking, so it's not like they brought him down. Whatever. The Ministry shows up, and the Gravekeeper, Mark Calloway, says he's here, and he's heard about Sting being around last week, and he wants Sting to, give himself up, basically. He says he's brought along one of the crosses, and he intends to crucify Sting. He says if he can't find Sting by the end of the night, he'll just find somebody else to put on there. And that really killed it. It's an awful 5-minute promo. It got the crowd disinterested right away. Ouch. Segment did a 35. Not a good way to start. This is oof. Maybe it's time we forget about this little experiment or get to the end of it sooner rather than later, because this is not going well. Let's go. First matchup of the night, Moose versus Jay Lethal. Decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling. Jay Lethal picking up the win. The crowd still disinterested. Wrestling was a 49, crowd 44, segment 50. Now I'm really afraid that just killed the crowd for the rest of the night, and this is just going to be a bad show. Ouch. Moving on. The Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, show up right as Carmella and Trish are, starting to butt heads and go at it again backstage. But the Inspiration shows up and they tell them that they need to worry about their upcoming match because they have a tag match, and the Inspiration says that they didn't show up in WCW just to lose. So it was a good 5-minute little promo there with them. Crowd heat is unclear. That's better than disinterested, so that's good. The Inspiration, both of those ladies are good with working the crowd without having to have a script or anything, so hey, we got the crowd interested again. Segment was a 64. Once again, leaving it up to the ladies to pick up the slack. And there's the match that we talked about. It was a decent match. The Inspiration picking up the win over Trish Stratus and Carmella after a miscommunication between Trish and Carmella. Crowd heat is still unclear. Alright, both teams did well teaming together. Wrestling, we got a 50, crowd 47, and a segment of 54. Okay. Now, poor 5-minute interview. Can't expect them all to be good, but I really I guess just because Britt is involved, I really expected better things. But she didn't even have a speaking. Yeah, she was a non-speaking appearance. Deonna Purrazzo shows up and, gets in Britt's face, and she says she's going to take that women's title. Britt's been lucky up until recently, but sooner or later, her luck has to run out. So, crowd heat is unclear. Deonna performed well without a script, and did a 49 for the segment. And they had a decent match. And oh my goodness, once again, Britt Baker picks up the win. Using a submission, no less, with the lockjaw. Defense number 4 of the WCW Women's title, and Britt is on a roll. I guess her luck doesn't end tonight. She's still off her game. Britt was penalized for being in extremely poor form. Crowd heat unclear. Wrestling 51. Crowd rating 45. Segment 52. I really need to get that title off of Britt, and I guess I'm just going to have to do it, force the win. I wanted to let it happen and to see what happens, letting the road agents pick the winner, but they keep picking Britt. My goodness. Alright, so a bit of a change up here for Keith Lee. He's got a new tag team partner, Trevor Lee. JTG just wasn't working out. It was a nice little nostalgia act, but it wasn't. I mean, he's only one half of the nostalgia act since, the other one, RIP. But, so we're going to switch things up here. And the team of Keith Lee and Trevor Lee, going by the name of Naturally Talented, going up against AJ Gray and Chris Bay. And decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling. Naturally Talented pick up the win. Crowd heat is still unclear. Wrestling 45, crowd 37, segment 47. God, that first opening segment just really killed the show. Poor 5-minute interview. Ben Carter and Nick Nemeth. So Nick congratulates Ben for his win last week and says let's see if he could do it again. This time when things really count, when things matter. He says he's willing to give Ben another match, and this time it's going to be for the U.S. title. So Nick not good at improvising. Ben also struggles with improvising, so they'll need script worked. Crowd heat unclear. Segment 46. And they have their matchup. U.S. title match here. Ben Carter versus Nick Nemeth. Decent match. Ben Carter picks up the win. Crowd heat is still unclear. Wrestling was a 55. Crowd was a 46. Segment was a 55. So those were the two matches that Nick said he was willing to put Ben over just to help him reach that next level. And there we have it, new U.S. champion in WCW, Ben Carter. Formerly Nathan Frazier of NXT. And here we have MJF in a little angle doing a promo against Kenny Omega. Good 5-minute interview. Okay. Crowd heat still unclear. Segment to the 68. And they have their matchup tonight. Great heat. Good wrestling. MJF picking up the win over Omega by countout. Crowd heat was still unclear. Wrestling did a 71, crowd 66, segment 68. And finally, at the end of the show, the Ministry comes out and they start bringing the cross out and bring it down to the center of the ring. And as promised, they have placed someone there. Falling short and unable to find Sting, what they ended up doing is jumping Steve Austin, and they've got Austin on the cross. Before, the lights dim down low, they've got Austin on the cross. They're going to potentially set it on fire or, do some type of ritual with him. But before that could happen, the lights go out completely, and when they come back up, Sting is in the middle of the ring with bat in hand, and he just starts going at it, letting the swings fly, hitting anybody and everybody he can, until finally he manages to chase away the Dark Ministry and, get them to clear the ring. And with that, we have Sting saving Austin from the crucifixion and whatever the Ministry had planned. So average, it was all average across the board. Crowd heat unclear. Dutch has a gimmick that's getting stale, so we need to change his gimmick. And segment did a 57. So that was okay, wasn't bad, but I really feel like that beginning, that opening promo with Mark Calloway really killed the show. It just never recovered after he got the crowd disinterested. It's crazy work considering it's The Undertaker. Formerly known as The Undertaker from WWE. That's insane to me. Well, let's finish out the show. Hey, despite that, we did. Oh yeah, we did. We lost popularity in 11 regions, but we still gained in 32. So that's good. Let's finish the show. Don't care about financials. Popularity recap, meh. No media scrum. And as always, I'll see you when we go through the week's worth of headlines, news, and any mail we may get. Oh, and before I continue, I also had, with Eric Bischoff retiring, I've sent out a few contract offers to find his replacement. Hopefully one of them says yes, and we'll see if it happens in this upcoming week. Alright, let's see what happened. Lots of positive feedback for Raw. They liked most of the show, and the star was the Ring General Kanta. Of course. Let's see for Nitro. Feedback has been great, drawn a lot of praise. Really, well, you wouldn't know that from the crowd, because my goodness. Rob Conway retiring. Let me see. I don't recognize nothing else. Let's check out this drug test. Yeah, fees, whatever. Viewership figures, 5.1 mil. Nice. That was a little bit better. Let's see what we have for decisions here. Piper Niven, or Viper, whatever. She has agreed to the contract. Nice. Do you want her coming in as... Yeah, I think we'll have her come in as a heel. Definitely. Alright. We got 25 days until Piper Niven joins us in WCW. Alright, nice. And that's, one of them. Stephanie McMahon. Why doesn't it show up? Did I not send the other contracts, maybe? Oh, no. Or did I just look at the other... Okay, well, this is the person I'm trying to get to replace Eric Bischoff since he's retiring. We're trying to bring in Stephanie McMahon. We'll see how that works. Hopefully she responds with a yes. Let's move on. Alright. Let's see... Austin Idol finally retiring at 75. Good for him. Retirement for Rey Mysterio Sr. Jesus. Oh, retirement for Paige's mom. Cash Wheeler, FTR Gunn, finally healed from his cheek fracture or whatever he had. Okay, yeah, I think it was a cheek fracture he had, but he's fully back. Good. New team. Yeah. I am not seeing anything else on the news here that deals, or that anything that interests me. Nikita changed her style. They're all changing their styles to be just regular wrestlers. Okay, whatever. That's probably what one of these mails is about. Cash back. Nikita's changed. Yep. Hobbs is out of AEW, and Will Hobbs has now joined WCW. Nice. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, what has happened here? Bobby Lashley injured. What happened? Chronic knee pain. Few months to fully heal. But he's going to continue to wrestle through it. Of course he is. Let's see what happened on Dynamite. Good, but some found it underwhelming. Okada was the star of the show. What about My Child Company? What are they up to? The show was awesome, and Austin Aries was the MVP of that show. Good. Let's see, anything else? I don't see... yeah, no. Mail's probably nothing interesting. Big Bill has left AEW and he's now with us in WCW. Nice. Will Hobbs and Big Bill now part of the WCW family. Let's go. Oh, I forgot. Okay. No one gets the night off. I don't care. Locker room incidents. Let's check it out. Xia Li has turned up and requested she be allowed to hang out backstage. She has not worked for us before. Okay, yeah, she can hang out. Unemployed, huh? Maybe we'll give her a contract offer. Okay. Yeah, microphone work to his son. Killer Kelly helped create a fun atmosphere when she pulled the classic rib on Jessie McKay. Okay, nice. Carmella gave the locker room a lift as she unveiled a series of spot-on impressions of... Oh, okay, good for Carmella, good. Keeping backstage nice and happy, I like it. Not gonna address the locker room, let's just go. Auto Booker's waiting to do its thing, I'm sure. All right. Why would it do something silly like book something that would get me penalized? So, try again. Sorry there, Auto Booker, but you at least have to... I don't care what kind of slop you throw together, but at least I can't be penalized. It's already a B show. Come on. Thank you. See what kind of wackiness we got going on Thunder. Julia Hart versus Nikita Lyons. And Julia picked up the win. Austin Theory over Dirty Dango. Okay. Joe Hendry, Christian Cage. Alright, Shelton Benjamin versus Keith Lee. Keith Lee picking up the win. Joe Hendry versus Gable Steveson. Joe Hendry, of course, picking up the win there, yeah. Shane McMahon versus Will Hobbs. And Shane picks up the win. You're insane. No way. Gimmick changes? Who had a gimmick? Oh, okay, yeah. So much for dominant. You just lost to Shane McMahon, the owner of the company. Jay White picking up the win over Jay Lethal. They had a good match together. Nice. Christian Cage versus Nick. And Nick picking up the win. Alright, what an interesting show. Go Thunder. Financials, no thank you. Doesn't do anything for popularity. Alright, let's see. Anything interesting? What do they say about Thunder? That it was great. Draw a lot of praise. Alright, so they love the B show. Let's see, anything else interesting? What did Teen Impact do? Laredo Kid. Pretty good all-around show. Violent J retiring. Uh-oh. What is Juggalo Championship Wrestling gonna do? Are they even a thing in this game? I'm not sure. Oh no, look at that. Oh, the Butcher. But Mr. Anderson retiring. Is he going to stay in the business? Is he going to leave the business? Huh. Interesting. I wonder what he's going to do. Well. Nah, I'm not going to offer him a contract. I was going to say, I wonder what he's going to be. Maybe we'll shortlist him just so he could... If he stays in the business and he wants to be like a road agent or something, I'd give him a job. So let's just shortlist him here. Yeah, see, he's going to be 50. Yeah, he could be a road agent. Let's see, actually. Let's see. Exclusively a road agent. Yeah. No, I'm not a road agent and don't have any desire to become one. Oh, okay, fine. Enjoy retirement then, buddy. Don't shortlist them. Good luck in life. Hope you enjoy yourself. Let's see what this is. Yeah. Drug testing and viewership figures, whatever. Alright, moving on. Alright, let's see. What did SmackDown do? Positive. Mostly liked that the star was Randy Orton, as it should be. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything that seems of interest. Yeah, no, not really. That's just house show viewership, whatever. Let's move on. Lots of headlines this time. And a majority of these are not going to matter to us. How did Collision do? Okada was the star. Some found it underwhelming, but it was liked. Okay. Let me see here. Now I'm not really seeing anything. Anybody losing their job that I could scoop up really quick? Let's see. No. Yeah, no, not really seeing anything. Checked out the mail. Clark Connors and Thekla have split up. Okay, I know Thekla works for me. Who is Clark Connors? What does he do? Is he in the business? Obviously he is, if he has a thing. Okay. He is a wrestler. What are his skills like? Not a bad wrestler. Well, too bad he broke up with Thekla, because I'm sure she won't want him around. Yeah, he's got a written deal with out in Japan. Let's just see what happens. I bet she says something. Yep. Yeah, don't worry. We're not gonna. I just wanted to see if she'd say something. Okay. Sorry to hear that, Thek. And this, I'm pretty sure it's Stephanie McMahon saying yes. Perfect. There we have it. Complete that signing. Stephanie McMahon will now be taking over as the GM of WCW once Eric Bischoff retires. Perfect. Let's move on to Monday. That's good news. Alright. Made it the full week. Sting is retiring now. Oh my goodness. Okay, well he is 66. Oh, he's gonna wants to move to a backstage career. I'll hire him for backstage stuff for sure. 3 months worth of dates. 3 months is all he has, and he's retired. Get real. I just saw the name underneath it. Bob Buckland retiring. Okay, whatever. I have seen other older people up here, but okay, Sting is gonna retire now. So we have Eric and Sting retiring. Who else? What else is going on? The Godfather is retiring. Anything else? Just skimming over the headlines real fast here. No, I don't see anything else. Yeah, no, that's it. Those are the big ones. Okay, what's this for the mail? Yeah, Sting. Yeah, thank you. Active competition in 30 days. Okay. So, shortly here we'll have Steve Austin retiring, Eric Bischoff retiring, and Sting retiring. Some of the older members here, so big changes happening in WCW here. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel more. And as always, once again, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next week for the next episode, and I really appreciate all of you.